Hello and welcome back into Pat's Picks. Today we have two games, a game one of the Eastern Conference second round between the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers, and game seven of Vegas Dallas, which should be a great game. If you're only going to sit down to watch one game, that should be the one. Now, as you can see, this is going to be the sixth episode of Pat's Picks. I have profited on four of 5 days thus far. The only day that I didn't profit was the one game day when the Bruins played the Leafs in game 6. I thought the Bruins were going to close it out, had a few bets relating to that, overplayed a little, lost, but the other 4 days, as you can see, a decent bit of profit relative to what I'm betting. As you can see, 34% day 1, 46% day 2, 11.6% day 3, and about 26% on day 5. So you can see most of the time I'm hidden. I'm hidden more than I'm not. And if you really just erase that one day, which obviously I can't do for the sake of integrity, you can see I've been doing pretty good. I'm 11-17, but outside of that day, I am 11-12. And I bet a lot of plus bets. So, the strategy is kind of to keep this number tight, win total, loss total, and the plus amount of bets is going to take me over the line, assuming I hit them. So tonight, let's talk about last night real quick. I had 4 bets, and let's talk about the winners real quick. I had under 3.5 for both teams. I told people this is probably the play of the day. Game 7s, Game 6s, very low scoring relative to earlier games in the series. The Bruins and Maple Leafs were lifeless offensively the previous 2 games. It seemed like an easy bet. Game ended 2-1, which is about what most people expected. Happened $20, won 15-38. The other win, Joseph Woll didn't play because I did over Swayman saves, under 3.5. So I basically went beyond my lock and added the goalie props because I thought the Bruins were going to shoot the puck more, and I thought the Leafs were going to continue shooting at a normal rate. And that's kind of what happened. The only thing is that Joseph Woll didn't play. If Joseph Woll played, this probably would have hit because Samsonov had the over 26.5. It would have been 10 to win 65, but taking Woll out, it was 10 to win 23-80, which we take a win, but a little upsetting that I couldn't really go back and change that to be Ilya Samsonov, which I may not have done hindsight 2020. The losses, I had a prop bet 10 to win, I want to say 48-50. Over 1.5 shots from Jake DeBrusk, hit under half a point for Hampus Lindholm. He had done nothing up until last night. Last night, he single-handedly put the team on his back and brought them to the next round with a late third-period goal and that beautiful bank pass assist. So Hampus proved me wrong, did it. I had McAvoy over 2.5 blocks. He finished with 2. And then the other one I lost, I had Bruins winning the first period in the game. Obviously, there was no goals until the third period, so that lost. But overall in the day, we profited 14-18. And that's not terrible considering we bet about, how much did I bet last night? About $55. So we'll take that. That's a 25.78% return. So if you bet $100, you would have probably got 25 in return. If you bet 1,000, 250. So that's pretty good if you're someone who plays heavy and you copied my picks, which I don't think anyone's doing. But let's go into talking about today's games. Maybe you skip through this. Let's talk about Vegas Dallas. And you see, this is one of the ones where I think it is a pick'em game. I think Vegas played very good in Game 6, shut out Dallas, and that's a big momentum boost for them after losing 3 straight. And then on the other hand, you have Dallas going back home to close out the series in Game 7, so they have that home field advantage. I think the momentum of Vegas in Game 6, like going against the momentum of home ice with Dallas in Game 7, kind of evens out. And I think this game is kind of a pick'em. And I thought, you know what? Vegas is a very battle-tested team. They've won a lot of road playoff games over the last 5 years. Very talented team. A little bit of confidence in Game 6 after losing 3 straight. I think they're the worthy play here just because, like, Dallas at minus 148. Maybe you're high on Dallas and you see something there. I think it's kind of a coin flip, so I went with the dog for $15 to win about like $18.60. And on the other hand, I feel like if you're not playing the under in a Game 7 after watching the last few Game 6s and 7s, it's kind of tough to not play the under. Minus 135. I put 30 to win 22-22. I feel like it just feels comfortable. It's not about it. Just watching all these games and how they play Game 6 and 7. Tightly officiated. You're lucky to get one power play. You're going to have to score 5-on-5. And when the whistles go away, the goal totals go down. This isn't regular season hockey 5.5. This is playoff 5.5. Now, one thing to be said is these are probably the 2 most talented teams that are facing each other in the first round. So there is a little bit more depth and ability to score than some of these other games. That being said, the rule of thumb is game 7, go under. And I'm sticking with that rule of thumb because I feel like it's happening more often than not, especially with the officiating. So $30 on the under 5.5, $15 on Vegas to win. Those are my plays. Nothing too exotic. I wouldn't go with prop bets in this with player points unless you were going unders, but at that time, I don't think there's anyone you can really confidently say isn't going to score, and I don't think there's anyone you can confidently say is going to score to the point it's going to be worth it, just because I think it's going to be a tight game. We then move on to a harder game to predict, and this is going to be the first time I bet a straight over in this series, and I feel like just because of the last 4 days watching playoff hockey, and just how the games have gone, a lot of people are kind of betting on the under here, as you can see by the -122. But what a lot of people don't really think of is game ones are usually a bit unpredictable. It can be a feeling out process, but there's oftentimes mistakes or style clashes that lead to mistakes that lead to goals. Last year, all 4 series in the playoffs, all 4 game ones went over 5.5 goals. So it's a reset. They're not going to play like game 6 and 7s. I also think Carolina, after facing the Islanders, it's going to seem a little bit more open to them, and they're going to be able to find some spots where they can score a little bit easier than against the Rangers than they could the Islanders. That being said, the Rangers are loaded with offensive talent, and I think Carolina might be a little on their heels because of that. I'm staying away from touching the outcome of this game because I feel like it is a pick'em as it's properly priced. My gut tells me Carolina just because of history, but if they're on the road, that's kind of the other thing. So Carolina's a road favorite, which I don't love. There's a lot of things to not love about this because the Carolina Hurricanes on paper are the better team in my opinion with their play style, the way they control possession, but on the road in New York for game 1, I can't confidently pick either team. On the other hand, I did say I think Carolina is going to score 2 guys who have been fantastic for them, Jake Gensel and Andrei Svechnikov. I had a no sweat bet in my account, which is one of the reasons I played this. I was like, I have $10 to play, might as well play it, but I think these 2 guys are probably the 2 guys that I put money on to get a point today. They both play on the same line. They both play on the first power play unit. I feel like the Rangers' scoring is a little more spread out up and down the lineup, whereas I feel like Carolina, their guys have stepped up pretty consistently. I really don't know what we're going to get out of the Rangers because they played the Capitals. They beat them in 4 games. The Rangers are kind of an unknown to me for what you're going to get in playoff hockey because they didn't play a playoff team. That being said, they swept a team, and that's all good and dandy, but this is really the true test of if the Rangers are for real or not. That first round series means nothing to me, which is why I'm putting no money in the way of the Rangers here until I see them play a game against Carolina, and we can reevaluate what the Rangers are, how the Rangers are going to play against a good playoff team. So if you're confidently betting the Rangers, good on you. It won't be me, though. And then we got my play of the day, which is a combination of 2 bets, slightly modified, that I've already made in this video. And that is the over 4.5 Carolina Rangers alternate and the under 6.5 Vegas Dallas. There has not been a game recently that's been an elimination that has gone over 6.5, so I'd be very shocked if that one didn't hit. The over 4.5, as I mentioned, I feel like this game might be a little more open because Carolina is going to be given a little more space because they're not playing a pack-in Islanders team, and the Rangers are facing an actual playoff team. So I feel like the Rangers might actually struggle in this game a bit. The more I'm talking, the more I'm tempted to bet on Carolina, but I really just don't want to touch that. I might do it off the record on my own volition and not count it here and not report it, but I'm kind of iffy on that. But I feel like the over 4.5 is a good bet because I think both teams can score and will score. So we shall see how this goes. As you can see, 5 bets total. About what's the math here? Math into about 40, 50, 80, $95 in bets is that? I have 6. No, wait. 20 plus 20, 40, 50. Yeah, 80, 95. So, yep, $95 worth of bets for 2 games today. If you feel like copying my picks, let me know if you do. Remember, tail at your own risk, fade at your own risk. I've won money more often than not as of late, but it's not a lot of money. There's risk with gambling. If you like the video, though, please hit the like button. Please hit the can't even speak right now. I've talked for 9.5 minutes straight here. Subscribe if you like the videos and you like the content. Even if you're not really someone who is going to copy the picks, just, discuss what you think. That's kind of more the point of the video, is more so of a discussion than here's my picks, you're going to make money. That's not really what I'm about here. What I'm about here is just talking about the lines. I find betting fun. I don't lose significant amounts of money on it. I don't gain significant amount of money on it. I just find it fun to be like, am I right or wrong type of deal. So I'd like to know your picks for tonight, what you're playing, how you're feeling about the games going forward, and maybe even just thoughts about the NHL in general. So that'll be it for the video today, guys. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Have a great day. Enjoy the hockey. Peace.